everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca and today we are going to be talking about some houseplant education resources. So if you are a new plant parent or you've been owning plants for a while and maybe things aren't going amazingly, maybe you're struggling a little bit, or maybe plants are dying really quickly and you don't know what's happening, this video is for you to help you find educational plant resources to help you turn all of that around. All right, the first houseplant education resource I want to share with you today is my book, Houseplants for Beginners. So this book came out in 2021 and it is a really awesome guide to owning houseplants, caring for houseplants, all the way from conceptualizing where your houseplants are going to go, all the way to troubleshooting and helping you identify certain houseplants and pests and lots of other things. So this is a really awesome resource if I do say so myself. Basically, this book is a written version of a lot of my videos on my YouTube channel where I did Houseplant 101 content and just all of the things that I talk about in different videos all combined into one resource. And so I've been traveling around doing book signings and stuff like that around my local area, places I can drive to or take a short flight to. But if you'd like to get a signed copy of my book, I have it for sale on my website, and yeah, I'll send you a signed copy. There's a lot of other books written by people in the plant community, so I will link a few down below that are really awesome. And also I want to suggest that you check your local thrift store or antique mall or something like that to see if you can find any vintage plant books, because I find these to be really informative as well. It's not always the most updated information, but it is really interesting to see how people kept their plants back in the day. I mean, obviously people were successful with just information from books like this, so you know that you could also draw a lot of information from this. There's lots of really beautiful diagrams showing you how to propagate certain plants and how to care for certain plants. So yeah, I just find that the illustrations in these are really beautiful and helpful. The next resource for anyone looking out for more houseplant information would be local garden centers putting on classes. So like I said, I've been traveling around to a lot of different plant nurseries, and I've noticed on their schedules they have a lot of really fun classes. So if you happen to be near a big plant nursery, usually nurseries will have like an outdoor section and an indoor section. Those are the ones that I find are a bit more centralized on like education as well as selling plants. They'll do classes. Sometimes they'll put on like macrame classes or terrarium building classes, or they'll do like 101 classes. I actually just taught a class in North Carolina about caring for philodendron. So we talked about philodendron care obviously, but we also talked a lot about soil and soil amendments and how to have healthy soil for your houseplants. And it was really fun. So definitely check with your local garden center and see if they're hosting any classes. And if they're not, it's probably something that you can ask for, because there's a lot of really helpful people who work at garden centers who are probably just looking for a place to share their information. Now, in situations where you don't have a local nursery that's putting on classes, or maybe you just don't want to go to them and you'd prefer to do more online, I would highly suggest checking out the Bloom and Grow Radio Garden Society. Bloom and Grow Radio is a podcast that was started by my friend Maria, and we've met up in person before and she's so sweet, and we've been able to chat with each other through the process of our books, because we've both put out a book. Her book is actually going to be coming out pretty soon, which is so exciting for her. But anyway, she put together this thing called the Garden Society. Maria calls her Garden Society the Netflix for plant people, because it's a bunch of on-demand videos and lessons from a horticulturalist, Leslie Halleck. And it is so awesome to hear all of this information from an expert. I am always very clear that I am not a horticulturist or a botanist or anything like that. I learn all the information that I know from people like that and resources that they put out, and then I sort of synthesize it down to be a little bit more palatable. But in this case, Leslie Halleck is really great at making that information easily accessible and I guess palatable right away, so you're getting it straight from the source. These courses are basically college level courses. Like, they are so informative. There is so much information in them, and I especially love that there is a Ask a Horticulturalist Anything section, because if you do tend to want to know like a deeper reason why your plant might be doing something, you can definitely ask Leslie Halleck and she will be able to help you out. And not only that, but you have access to the community behind the Garden Society. So other people just like you who want to nerd out about plants are also in this Garden Society and in the chat, and you can chat with each other and just talk about your plant problems and your plant excitement. It's not always just problems. Like sometimes, I don't know, it's exciting when a Hoya is blooming and you're like, ooh, like what's this stage called? Like all kinds of stuff like that. I think that it's so fun just to have access to somebody like that that, because as somebody who is always researching and learning about houseplants through like papers and things like that, it can be really difficult to understand everything that's going on at first glance, and it takes a long time to fully understand things. And it's just nice to have somebody who is in the profession and is able to, you know, teach in a way that we understand. Maria wanted to give you guys an opportunity to try out the Garden Society for free. So there is going to be a 3-day trial for anyone who watches this video, and you can find that link down below in the description box. All right, the next educational resource that you can check out is my Houseplant 101 booklet. So I made this booklet a few years ago when I was teaching a Houseplant 101 class, and I thought that it would be a really helpful resource for all of us in the community to use and to share with others possibly. And it's just a little booklet that you can staple together and keep in your plant area. It's not a big packet or a big book or anything, but there's definitely a lot of information in it, and it covers everything from repotting to watering and window direction and all that kind of stuff. Also, I think it'd be really fun if you ever wanted to gift somebody a plant, to give them the plant with this little printed out booklet so that they have something to go off of. And it would be even cooler if you like laminated the pages so that it would last a little bit longer, because anytime I have papers around my houseplants, they tend to get like wet and stuff. So maybe if you wanted to give somebody like a sweet gift, you can definitely use that booklet. I give you full permission to, you know, print it out and give it to your friends. That's what it's for. Has anyone ever checked out Reddit? Reddit is one of my favorite places to go just to scroll through people's plant collections. I mean, Instagram is obviously a really great place to do that too, but Reddit, I find it to be really nice because Reddit's not trying to be a video app. It's photos and text, and I really like that. So it's nice just to get inspired on Reddit, but there's also a few different, what are they called? Forums, not forums, what does Reddit call them? Anyway, there's a bunch of like, what are they called? Okay, I don't remember what it's called, but there are like different little sections, like r/houseplants, r/why is my plant doing this? There's a bunch of them like that. I'll link them down below if you're interested in like just trying them out. You can follow them and just see them on your feed as they come up. But I find it really helpful to look through those things because I am not a person who likes to ask people for help with anything in life, and it's a bit of a character flaw, but especially with my houseplants because I don't want to bother people. And it is actually very unhelpful to ask people online why your plant is doing certain things, because there's so much that you have to know before you're able to fully answer the question. So the reason that I say this is there's only so many things that can go wrong with your plant. And so what I've done in the past is I've scrolled through, or I've even like typed in a keyword like brown leaves or brown tips or something like that into the Reddit forum. And it pulls up a bunch of posts where people have asked, you know, why is my plant having brown tips or something like that. And you can read through all of the comments that other people already did and sort of figure out what might work for you with your certain type of brown tip or your certain type of plant issue that you're having. Then also, if you're into the Facebook group thing, you can definitely post in your local Facebook group about your plant problems, and maybe somebody will be willing to help you. I find that Facebook is not my favorite place to be for houseplants, but there's definitely a big community over there too. Okay, the last resource that I want to share with you today to help you troubleshoot your plant problems and just learn more about houseplant care is my Patreon. Depending on the tier, I have a monthly live, I have a Discord channel, and I have a monthly plant clinic. So just depending on what tier you're in, you'll get access to different things. I used to have a series on my channel called Plant Clinic, and I found it really difficult to keep the series going. I would like to add more to it, but it's a lot of work for each individual video. And anyway, so I just decided that I wanted to do a plant clinic for my patrons. So once a month we get together on Zoom and we chat with each other about our different plant problems, and we sort of help each other troubleshoot. Like this last time we were talking about fungus gnats. Like, fungus gnats are a really big thing, and if you are brand new to houseplants, it can seem extremely overwhelming, and they can just multiply like crazy, and then your entire house is like full of gnats, and you're questioning whether or not you should just give the house to them and you move out. I've been there. So that was something that we talked about this last time, just everybody's different methods for getting rid of fungus gnats. And it was so sweet because I saw people like taking notes, and it was just like, it's awesome to be able to learn from each other and learn from each other's experiences and just have that dialogue with each other, like in person, kind of. I mean, it's over Zoom, but it's like, it's not typing out your problems and sending a message and waiting for a reply. Like, you have access to at least 5 to 10 people who are going to be willing to help you troubleshoot through your problems. And then maybe you've experienced something that they're asking a question about, And it all works out because everybody can share information and it's really cool. So definitely check that out. I'll have it linked down below if you're interested. And also on Discord, we have like a plant troubleshooting channel on there. So if you are ever having any plant care issues, you can post a photo and chat with people that way. And I just love seeing people like help each other out. So if it's not through my Patreon, I definitely suggest you get embedded in some sort of online plant community, because it's really nice to have access to people who are willing to help, and then you can help them in return. And of course, it goes without saying that Googling the plant problem, and finding other YouTubers that you really enjoy is another really great way to learn. I find that just watching other YouTubers do certain things, like early in my plant journey, I was watching a lot of PlantTube, and I would just watch people do the things that they're doing. Like, I'm watching the video, but you know, like, I'm just observing what they're doing and, you know, thinking about why they might be doing that certain thing, like certain practices within their houseplants. Like, oh, I noticed that this person roughs up the roots before they repot a plant. I think I'm gonna start doing that, and figure out why they do that, and figure out, you know, is that beneficial or is it not? And you know, you just sort of learn these things through observation. So definitely find people that you really like on YouTube. I mean, obviously you're watching me, so hopefully you like my channel and find it informative as well as entertaining. That is always my goal. But there's a lot of other really awesome plant YouTubers. You can find a lot of people through watching houseplant tours. I know that houseplant tours are typically really long, and if you have the attention span to sit through all of them, more power to you. But I usually use that as a way to find new people to follow, and then I'll check out their other videos and sort of see what they've got going on. So anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to try out the Bloom and Grow Radio Garden Society, I'll have it linked down below for that 3-day trial. And yeah, go get embedded in a plant community, you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.